Johnson set to kick off from the west side, and here we go. Pretty high. Pippins from about the 8 to 10 yard line. Looks for a seam, gets through the first tackle, out to the 26, but very good coverage initially for Lee to force him to break it outside. And Quet Nicholson, Lee's cornerback, makes the stop. Also Matt Uzel and Micah Johnson. Now for Lee up front, Ricky Sherfield and Cordero Mumphrey, the defensive ends, and Jacoby McKenzie, his second consecutive start at tackle. DeHaven in the middle, Dominique Van Zandt and Cole Skates, the outside backers. Jason Stripling is the rover, the bandit. Nick Mitchell and Eric Ajiki, the safeties, and Nicholson and Micah Johnson, the corners. Freeman from his 27, and they run the quarterback keep, and he busted outside for a first down to the 30-yard line, out to the 38-yard line. Eric Ajiki, the force from the safety spot, and that was a play that Carlin Freeman hurt Lee with last year. He picks up 11 yards and a first down.
Well, everything was drafted towards the middle as they fake to the fullback, and the quarterback just simply rolls on around the corner, and no one's there to get him until he's into the secondary for the first down.
Both these teams keeping an eye out on the fullbacks. And the one thing that Mike Owens and company talked about, and so did John King, is they have to try to make teams go 12, 15 plays because both are capable of going 75 and 80 at any moment. First down, Lobos. Quarterback draw. Freeman gets outside. 40, 45, 46, and a tough tackle by Ajiki at the 46-yard line, but again had room to run, and he picks up 7 yards at second down and 3. Second down and 3. Freeman, Kelly split far side, man in motion. That is Anthony. Lone setback is Vondrell McGee, takes the pitch. First down, midfield, breaks it outside. Look at this kid run. Inside the lead, 40 down to the 35-yard line. And Longview has had 3 consecutive big chunks down to the 36-yard line. Jacoby McKenzie comes from his defensive tackle position to pick up the tackle, but a gain of 17 yards for Vondrell McGee. First and 10, Longview at the Lee 36 opening drive. Straight eye formation, Freeman, slant pass almost picked off by Micah Johnson as they went for the blue chipper Malcolm Kelly, and that thing underthrown at his ankles, and Micah made a nice job of making a move on that play at second down and 10.
Well, Lee set back in his zone, and it's a very nice coverage formation for Lee as 2 white shirts are there to meet the wide receiver Kelly on a little 8-yard slant in pattern, and the pass was low, and Johnson was the only one that had any chance to get to the ball.
So hide the women and children. We've got our one of those games tonight where there'll be a lot of things happening here at Lobo Stadium. Second down and 10, 36-yard line, split receiver in the slot, Kelly near side. That's the fullback, Ivory up the gut. He's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, and that's what we talked about. The fullback, Chris Ivory, breaks it 36 yards, touchdown Longview, and they went 2 minutes and scored, and they made it look, quite frankly, rather easy. They tried to bam him up the middle early in the game on the first play. Lee went with the fullback and stopped him. Freeman goes outside, and now you've got some confusion. Here is Willie Cloyd. The extra point attempt is up and good, and the Lobos make it look easy early. 10:09 to go, first quarter, and what could be the first of many for both teams tonight. 7-0 Lobos back in 1 minute. So here comes the kickoff now. Back deep, Jason Williams. Low pooch kick. Lee will field it. Brad Royal at the 25. 30, bounces outside and has some room. 35-40, midfield, and knocked down there, and Lee will get great field position at their 49-yard line. Nice return by the fullback, Brad Royal. Here is the Lee offense. Saron Black and Sam Banks. Blake Larm in the center, left tackle and guard. Brian Culp and Matt Holland, guard and tackle. John Giles, the tight end. Receivers, Walter Simpson and Tony Bush. And also the fullback, Peyton Price. We'll see Tyrone Ross starts the day 270 yards behind the great Derek Farmer for the all-time rushing lead, and 3 touchdowns behind Farmer and Keandre Smith. Josh Hill, the senior, at quarterback with a 2-wing set. Peyton Price, the lone setback, and Josh rolls to the near side. Throws a little flare pattern. T.Y. catches it and loses a yard, falls down at his 48. And the thing that caused trouble at that play is the fact that, you know what? Adrian Brooks, who had a huge game in the game at Rose Stadium a year ago, got in his face, a loss of a yard on the first play at second down and 11.
Well, he pursued so well, he just broke through his block, and he was on the rear end of Josh Hill, and Hill only could throw the ball to his swingman out wide.
Longview up front, Norris, Brooks, Moon, and Allen, Johnson, and Oliver, the linebackers. Here's Lee, wingback reverse, T.Y., 50, 45, first down, 40, 35, into Longview territory. and they ran that misdirection. Cordera Hunter makes the stop, the great cornerback for the Lobos, who won the district championship of the 200 meters, and a pickup on the play of 20 yards for Tyrone Ross, first down Lee, and a great seal block from the tight end, John Giles.
Well, there's that misdirection that Lee runs so well, and of course they line up Tyrone at the wingback position most times, and he just makes a nice cut inside, finds the daylight, and heads down the sideline for a nice gainer.
First down Lee at the 32-yard line of the Lobos. I set Price the up man. Josh Hill, the quarterback. Play action, rolls far side, sets up, throws sideline, caught 20, dropped it. Jason Williams, who's had a problem hanging on to the football, let that one go right through his hands. He was wide open for about 8 to 10 yards at the 25. And it's the team that doesn't make the mistakes actually on offense that will win this game tonight. Not just turnovers, but making big plays and taking advantage of them when you do. Right through the stomach. Tony Bush splits near side on second down and 10. They run the wingback counter. Jason Williams inside the 30 for about 5 yards, down to close to the 26-yard line. Give him 5, and it brings up a critical third down and 5 for Robert E. Lee. Kendrick Campbell on the stop to Kendrick Campbell, the senior, who has 3 interceptions already this year, filling in for the great Keaton Daniels, who graduated. 3rd and 4 for Robert E. Lee. Josh Hill, misdirection. T.Y. breaks the tackle, blocked downfield. 20, 10, 5. Does he get in? He does. Touchdown, Robert E. Lee, and T.Y. tight ropes down the sideline. They made it look easy. Longview scores first possession. Lee scores first possession. John Giles and Sam Bates with the key blocks and a great block downfield. He's 2 away from the school record.
Well, it worked once before with a nice gainer, and it did again because the execution is flawless by Robert E. Lee. And Tyrone Speed, he gets down the sideline very, very rapidly, outrunning several green shirts to the end zone.
I said when Longview scored, well, here's the extra point. Josh Hill, snap, hold, Preston, kick is up, and the kick is good. Our score, that's Cole Skates. Cole Skates back in at kicker. 8:26 to go, opening quarter. The track meet has begun. 7-7, Lee and Longview back in 60 seconds. Micah Johnson set to kick off for Robert E. Lee. We're tied 7-7, 8:26 to go in the first quarter of what could be a 4x100-meter track meet, if you know what I'm talking about, Randy.
6 plays, 52 yards, and 143, countering Robert E. Lee scores against Longview quickly.
Micah Johnson kicks this one through the back of the end zone. At least it'll land in the end zone and trickle to the end line, and it's an automatic touchback. Nice job by Micah, and you want to try to keep it out of the hands of Pippins and Vondrell McGee. And Carlin Freeman and the Lobos offense back in the field after they had a very impressive opening drive. And then Lee comes up and says, whatever you can do, we can do better. And 7-7 tie. And this game will come down just like Trinity, 3 weeks ago, with what team, field position, and what drives when you don't get points in a drive, where you end those drives as far as field position.
True.
And, of course, turnovers always a key to anything. Tight end Reese near side, Kelly split far side. Lee jumping around quite a bit on the defensive line. They run that fullback, and Ivory pounds out for about 5 yards. Cole Skates, Jacoby McKenzie for Lee, the junior nose tackle, and also Jason Stripling, who's healthy again, the 6'2", 215 senior, but a gain of 5 and a dive. Elkins, the senior, just weighs about 210, but he's just one of those typical high school football players. Playing tough. Here's Freeman this time. Keeps it himself for a 5 and close to a first down. He has it at the 30, and then a late hit after the play on a Longview player on the back of Eric Ajiki. That was number 14, Calvin Jackson, who got away with one right there. And the official talking to Eric Ajiki for whatever reason, but a first down and a gain of about 5.5. It's now 1st and 10 Lobos.
And he also walks back towards the Longview huddle and points at 14 and says, we're not going to have that.
And that's a good thing.
And he runs all the way back down near midfield as the back judge.
Bill Bryant, Lee Hunter, Ronnie Staniland, Glenn Bickerdike, and also Buford Chapman, the officials tonight here in Longview. So gain of 5, 1st and 10 Lobos. No tight set this time. Freeman, 3-step drop. Fade pattern going deep to Kelly. Micah Johnson's there. Caught it. This will be a touchdown. 10-5. Touchdown. Micah Johnson in perfect position, Randy. He falls down. I think he may have lost the ball. And Malcolm Kelly loves to play against Robert E. Lee, 78 yards. Randy Huffstickler, the lead defensive coordinator, telling me, David, we've got to limit the bombs to Kelly like we didn't do against Longview in the second meeting a year ago. They've given one up 5 minutes into this game. Micah had position. Here's the Cloyd kick. It is good. 13-7. That took 3 plays. 7:21 to go, first quarter. 14-7. Lobos up by 7. Well, we've had 14 offensive plays. Here's the kickoff, a pooch kick again, and Peyton Price will field this at the Lee 20. Now look for a seam at the 25-30. Breaks outside 35, close to the 39-yard line. So Lee getting big chunks on the kickoff return coverage. Randy, there have been drives of, 6, 5,
and 3.
And we've got 21 points. And if you're one of the TV stations or, again, Fox Sports Net is here, you come to hope to get a highlight or two. They've got plenty already, and Lee now takes over down 7 again at their 38-yard line.
Yeah, not even 5 full minutes into the game, too, David. 3 plays, 80 yards for Longview and 105 on the last drive.
Walter Simpson splits far side Lee. Jonah Murphy, the tight end this way. And Lee with the offset eye. This is Tyrone up the middle. Not much there. Just outside the 40, gain of 3. Tyrone had a 27-yard touchdown. Craig Smoke, you're right there near the Lee sideline. And Bench, your thoughts about what's going on down there?
I mean, so far it's a very exciting game with 7 minutes still left to go, like y'all said. It's really going to come down to whose defense can stop the other team, and so far neither team's been able to do that. Lee with the explosive offense, Longview with the explosive offense, and I've really been impressed so far with how Carlin Freeman leads this Lobo offense.
Yeah, he loves to play against Lee, doesn't he, Randy?
Mm-hmm.
Second down 7, just outside their 40. Tight end set is John Giles. This is that wingback counter. Josh in trouble, throws, has a man open, caught it. Giles, midfield, first down in the Lobos territory. We mentioned the tight end, Randy Hunter on the stop. You also, there's a flag down. Is there a flag down? Nope, I saw the referee, Bill Bryant, but he's not down. 11 yards on the completion. I think this is a game. Yes, you're going to have big plays, but John Giles, this is the kind of game he can get 6 to 8 catches. 48-yard line of Longview, 2 wingbacks near side. They run that wingback counter. Peyton Price runs into a wall, keeps on going, and breaks loose. Gets a block, Williams. 35-yard line, knocked down there, but a gain of 11 yards and a first down. And Cordera Hunter, who Malcolm Kelly says is the only guy that can play on him one-on-one, makes another stop in the secondary. Jonathan Williams in the slot, Simpson far side. Stretch play, T.Y. left tackle, 35, runs over a man down to the 30, gain of about 7. And T.Y., who lists at 5'8", 186, the senior, ran over a linebacker for a gain of 6 yards. Campbell and Williams on the stop for Longview.
Yeah, Williams came over, number 45, and grabbed him around his legs, but he drove right through him, and then he had help from Kelsey Oliver as well, coming over from his middle spot for the Longview defense.
5:21 to go, first quarter, 14-7. Longview, they've scored on an Ivory run, a Kelly catch from Freeman, and Lee on a Tyrone Ross touchdown run of 27. John Giles and Jason Williams near side. Williams the H-back. Wingback counter, Williams, 30, 25, first down 20, inside the 10, inside the 20 to the 15, and a big chunk there into Kendrick Campbell on the stop at a gain of 22 yards for Robert E. Lee. Check that, Randy. It wasn't quite 22. Saron Black with the key block.
Yeah, he kicked him out and made a nice clearing block, and if it weren't for Campbell closing in, the only one left in the way of Jason Williams, he pulls him down at the 14.
16 yards, Jason Williams on the counter. Bush and Simpson near side. Simpson in the slot. Giles the H-back. Lone setback, T.Y. They run the stretch. Off right tackle, gets a block, 15. Down inside the 10, close to the 7-yard line. Nice job in the lead block for Robert E. Lee up front. Black, Banks, Larman, Culp, and Holland. And Oliver, Kelsey Oliver, the little linebacker, makes the stop at down to the 8-yard line, a gain of 7 more.
And John Giles makes a tremendous block on the outside, Dave. He drives out the defensive end and just reading the play beautifully, as Tyrone Ross really does this year, better than ever. He sees the field well, and he cuts back inside for a nice gainer.
Jonah Murphy, the tight end, with a nice seal block. We're seeing a lot of that so far tonight. The tight end's very much involved. T.Y. lone setback at the Longview 8. Stretch play, nothing there. Bounces away, though, at the 10. Cannot get loose and close to about a yard, but the flag comes down. Oliver with another stop that time for the Lobos, and now we just got to figure out what the penalty is. And Lee is walking backwards, and it's a clip. Oh, my goodness, a chop block. I've never seen that called in high school football, and that will cost them 10, maybe 15 yards as they get back down to about the 7-yard line. Huge penalty call against the Lobos here.
Well, that's almost the way you have to block, coming in from the side, lowering towards the bottom half of the body. But the flag is thrown from the far side of the field from the side judge.
15 yards, and now instead of third down and a yard or two inside the Lobos 10, It is second down and 19 at the Longview 23-yard line. Clock now under 4 minutes to go. The umpire throws the flag.
Okay.
Split backs behind Josh. Hill, play action, rolls right. Sets up, throws, pass, caught at the 10, down inside the 10. And Walter Simpson, who else would you expect to make a diving grab in traffic? And he gets it right back to where T.Y. was just a minute ago. It now sets up a manageable 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, he's crossing over the middle, and he just shakes off the defender on the far side of the field and open over the middle. And Lee's finding those little seams across the field, too.
That's a huge play because it gives you might have been 4-down territory anyway. Now it gives you a couple of things to work with and some options on this play. Play clock down to 10, 3:15 to go, first quarter, 14-7 Longview. Lee trying to march. T.Y. deep back, stretch play, play action. Has a man open at the goal line now. Steps up, throws in the back of the end zone. Caught it, touchdown! What a tremendous catch by Walter Simpson. Craig Smoke, you had a great angle. This guy has unbelievable hands.
Yeah, it looked like Josh Hill was running out of room. He was being chased all over the field by Lobos defenders. But Walter Simpson, the other receivers, did a good job of trying to get open. The cornerback Pippins was on Simpson pretty good, but Walter Simpson, absolutely great diving catch in the back corner of the end zone.
He was turned around like a pretzel and made the catch for a touchdown. And Lee overcomes the 15-yard chop block penalty. And here comes Skates with the extra point attempt. Preston Hill, the holder. Snap Giles. Kick is up and good. And our score, 3:01 to go. Robert E. Lee 14, Longview 14, back in 60 seconds. We have seen some fantastic football games between Lee and Longview the past several years, and tonight no different. Tied at 14, Micah Johnson, very high and deep kick. Vondrell McGee at the 4. 5, 10, looks for a seam. 10, 15, 20. Breaks the initial tackle, still going outside the 30. Sloppy tackling at the 20-yard line, and also a great effort as well. Lee got in his space at least, and he still got out to the 27-yard line. More on the stop for Lee, along with what looked like Lance Heap and Justin Hansen. Gabriel Lacey in a defensive tackle for Lee as they trying to find some solutions here. This is the fullback, Ivory, and that time he actually only got about a yard or two, and Craig Smoke saying, Craig, on the far side, that Lee's fans trying to get into this game with a little defensive chant, huh?
Yeah, they're trying to get into, Lee fans, they look for whatever they can to get hyped up about something. This is definitely a game to get hyped up about. Like you said earlier, this might be the district championship here right here with what most people say are the 2 best teams in the district. So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement going around right now.
Well, they were very passive in the game against Rockwall, but it was 35-0 before they sat down and had their chili, hot dogs, and nachos. Second down and 10. Longview at the 27. Freeman back to throw. Lee brings the blitz. Throws sideline. Pass knocked away, and a great play by Micah Johnson. And thank goodness he does, because otherwise Kelly has room to run. Also, Cole Skates gets in the face of Freeman. Rushes the throw. It's 3rd down and 10. Far side is Calvin Jackson. In the slot, Vondrell McGee. Shotgun Freeman. Snap. Pressure, swing pass, behind the back, and that could be a fumble. Lee picks it up, 10, 5, Jason, touchdown, touchdown, Robert E. Lee, touchdown. Do they count it? Do they count it? Yes, they do. Jason Stripley picks up the swing pass and goes 17 yards, and Lee gets the big break.
It's huge.
Craig Smoke.
Yeah, the pass by Freeman, Ivory right off his fingertips. Warren DeHaven was doing a great job. He was making Freeman throw the ball in the rush, and Jason Stripley went an absolutely great scoop and score for the touchdown.
Early in the year, Dominique Van Zant, Randy, had a chance to scoop one up and score, and he got caught from behind, and what a great job by Jason. One fell swoop, picks it up midstream, makes it a couple of moves, and scored. You got to give the officials credit for this. They did not blow the whistle when they saw an incomplete pass, and the official, Bill Bryant, the referee, making sure the angle was from behind Freeman on the pass to Ivory. Snap, hold, kick by Skates is up, and it is good. And our score, 2:02 to go. Robert E. Lee 21, Longview 14, back in 60 seconds from Lobo Stadium on KTBB. 21-14, Robert E. Lee. Micah Johnson, high, not as deep. This is Pippins at the 10. Good coverage from Lee as the Red Riders all over him at the 22-yard line. A little swarm tackling. The Lee crowd into it as well. Ajiki was there. And also Jeremy Moore. And the Lee football team, which defense was shredded for 2 quick drives. The key there, Randy, the fumble return, but they stopped the first 2 downs with nothing there for the Lobos.
And momentum has swung to the visitors in white and red across the field, and just a huge, huge play, their first big one of the season.
Lee now with Longview at the 21, and the Red Raiders for the first time tonight with a lead. They run the fullback. Ivory pounds his way for a couple of 3, and someone's dragging on his ankle. It was Cordero Mumphrey, the defensive end. Also in the game for Robert E. Lee, big 75. For the Red Raiders, that is Nick McLean. If you could only see how dark it is in our press box. And Kerry Ainsworth, a godsend tonight with that spotter board. Gain of 3 for Ivory. He has 45 yards on 4 carries. 2nd down, 7. Freeman, fullback. Ivory, what a stick right there. Warren to Haven. Welcome back to the varsity level after 2 or 3 weeks off, and he sticks Ivory. He got 3, but he also got Riddell right in his mouth. 2nd down, gain for about 3. Now 3rd and 4. Kelly near side. Micah Johnson will be shaded with a safety help here. That's Nick Mitchell. Here's a flag, and that's going to cost Longview 5 yards as the big guy up front, Trent Williams, 280-pound junior, 6'3", will cost his Lobos 5 yards in the first penalty against the Lobos. Robert E. Lee, Justin Simmons, I think, also was Sherfield. Here's a flag. No. Timeout. Timeout. Robert E. Lee wanted to see, I think it was Longview that needs the timeout. We need a break too. 24 seconds to go. First quarter, 21-14. Lee up by 7, back in 30 seconds. Lobos down 7 points. They've been down many times throughout this year. Usually it has been in the first half, and they've had huge second half. Justin Simmons and James Wilson, the defensive ends, banks the nose tackle. DeHaven, Van Zandt, and Skates, and they're coming. Stepping up. Uh-oh, he got a lot of room to run. 30, first down, out to the 37-yard line. He took a shot. Nick Mitchell was there. But I tell you what, Carlin Freeman ran right through Lee, and they brought everybody that time, and he made a great play on a 3rd and long and a gain of 18 yards at a first down. Huge 3rd down conversion. Remember that now. I formation, Freeman to the fullback, Ivory, and Lee jams that thing up at about the 39, doing a much better job there. Now you got to make sure you keep containment, Randy, as well. On the outside pitch to Vondrell McGee, that ends the first quarter. Has it been one to remember? Dominique Van Zandt and James Wilson on the stop. 21-14, Robert E. Lee, and we're 1 quarter done, and who knows, maybe more. Back in a minute. Carlin Freeman get a big first down scramble. 2nd down, Freeman at the 40. Elkins, the center man, in motion. There's a man who moves, and that cost the Lobos.
Chris Ivory.
That's Chris Ivory, who also was involved in that swing pass that was picked up by Stripling for the Lee touchdown. Jason Stripling has a touchdown, Lee's first defensive score. They have the special teams touchdown on Bush's 97-yard kickoff return against Trinity, and now 2nd down, 13. So Lee now with McKenzie back at defensive tackle, trying to get a hold of the quarterback and everybody else in green. Back to throw, Freeman, look for a post pattern, now has to run, tries to get loose again, gets outside. This guy is incredible. 45 midfield, first down, into Lee territory, and a gain of 15, 16, 17 yards, and Lee is getting into his space, Randy, but they're not grabbing him when they do, and what a play by Carlin Freeman. 1st and 10, Lobos at the Lee 48-yard line. Ivory on the wing here, near side. Jackson in motion. Lee bouncing around on the opposite side. Freeman, deep pitch back. Vondrell McGee, nowhere to go. There's a clip, they don't call it. Midfield, boy, look at the shiftiness of Vondrell McGee. Gets back to the Lee 46 to the 44-yard line. He picks up. The great backs get 3 and 4 when they lose, should lose 3 or 4. Craig Smoke from the opposite sideline.
Yeah, you mentioned the new turf, and over here on the Lee sideline, I see a lot of spaces, a lot of wrinkles, so to speak, near the sideline. I guess where it's not been stretched tight enough, but it'll be interesting to see if that anybody runs into one of those wrinkles and happens to fall down because of it.
I talked to Pat Collins, Randy, about that. You actually, when you run on it, you don't feel it. You just hope you don't get a spike.
Right.
Caught in one of those. 2nd down and 6. It should be 2nd down and 13. I formation. Freeman, wing back reverse off left tackle. Right tackle checked that. Jason Stripling was there along with Dominique Van Zandt down to the Lee 40-yard line and a gain of 4 yards, and it's 3rd down and 2. Gains of 3 and 4 are kind of a letdown for both teams.
Well, yeah.
View down 7. 10 minutes to go. First half. Reese, the tight end, to the near side. Here's the Quarterback keeper outside. Freeman tracked down from Cole Skates from behind. It brings up a 4th and 2. And Cole Skates just came with everything he had and ran down Freeman.
Well, they set Skates on the far side of the field, and he just gets right by the attempted block from the left tackle, and he's right there on the armpits and around the waistline of Carlin Freeman, and he cannot escape. He loses about a half a yard.
4th and 3. Longview's at the Lee 41. He lost a yard. Both sides, crowds up on their feet. Here's Hardy Elkins, the center. Jackson far side. Straight eye with Ivory and Vondrell McGee. Lee with a 4-man front. Freeman, fade pattern to Kelly. Throws it, pass, tipped and incomplete. Micah Johnson was there, and Kelly actually had his hands on the football and should have caught it. Goes through his hands, and Lee gets the 4th down stop.
Well, he found the ball before Micah Johnson did. Micah outran the football, and reaching up high, it was a little high, and he mistimed his jump, did Malcolm Kelly, and it goes right off his fingertips. Fortunately for Lee, that would have been another 20-yard gainer, or possibly 6 for Longview.
I think
so
he comes,
Lee with a big block.
I think
stop.
he goes all the way
Yep,
again
yep.
because Micah is in position, but he's just getting turned around. A lot of pressure to cover the blue chip receiver in Malcolm Kelly. Lee now from their 40. Peyton Price, 5, 6, 7 yards outside the 47. He runs over number 7 that time. That's the Kendrick Campbell. Gain of about 7 yards. And Roderick Allen was there as well. 2nd down. And here comes Simpson near side. Cluster for Lee on the near side. 2nd down and 3. Wing back reverse. TY block on Allen. 50, 45, 40. Look at him go. Into Longview territory. Down inside the 35-yard line. And a great block from John Giles again. He got around Roderick Allen. Craig Smoke saw a great lead block.
Yeah, great job blocking downfield by Robert Lee that time. But Tyrone Ross, you can see the intensity in his eyes before the game even started. He's really running like a man on a mission right now, and he's running very impressively.
Thank you, Craig. It's 1st down, Robert E. Lee. Tyrone Ross is now within 200 yards of the all-time school record set by Derek Farmer. 1st and 10, Lee at the Longview 34. Price and T.Y. Motion. Procedure call.
Yep.
Jonah Murphy has had a tendency from time to time to kind of wiggle a little bit. Boy, you don't want to do that, Randy, when you have a team on their heels. 1st and 15.
Well, they send him in motion, and he just gets in a little bit of a hurry. He starts to turn up the field before the ball is snapped, and the officials catch it. And
so Lee gets the return
yep.
on the wing back that was the flare pattern out of the backfield that went behind the receiver from where Freeman throws it. Stripley in one motion scoops it up. And then they get the 4th down stop at their 41. 1st and 15 at the Longview 39. Motion now, Williams. Hill back to throw, backside pressure, gets away. No, he doesn't. Sack back to the 50. Well, that's a great play by Roderick Allen. He loses 13 yards. Actually, not quite 13. Back to the 48. Lee had a 1st down and 10 at the 34. They now have 2nd down and 21 at the 48-yard line.
Yep.
Simpson, 4 receivers set for Lee. Williams, Simpson, Bush, and Giles. Josh steps up, rolls to the near side. Wants to go over the middle, pass caught. Williams, 30-yard line, down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The ball hit the ground and came loose. What a sideline shot from Brett Favre, Josh Hill style. That's Josh Hill, Brett Favre style, but he picked up a big chunk down inside the 30-yard line, a gain of 20. Giles, the H-back, in motion. Josh, spread, stretch, TY, 30, 25, bounces outside, 10. Close to the 10 and driven out of bounds that time. And Matt Holland, Kerry Ainsworth saying a very nice lead block. Cordero Hunter makes another stop for the Lobos, but a 1st down. They overcame 2nd down and 21.
Yeah, that was 2nd in forever, as you mentioned. Actually, it was 2nd and 25, David, but a great bit of running, great execution for Lee on their power running. They get great leverage, kicking out 2 or 3 blocks on the far side of the field, and Ross just finds daylight.
Tyrone now with 93 yards on 7 carries. 1st down, Lee at the 14 of Longview, straight eye. Jason Williams, H-back, up the gut. Price, not much there. Great stop by the linebacker that time. Number 12 was there for Longview to make the stop. Gain of a couple of yards, and again, like one of those things, you get 3 or 4 yards, and everyone goes, okay, where is everybody?
Yeah.
3 carries for 31 yards. Offset split backs. Josh, here comes the blitz, gets a block. Throws, sideline, Simpson out through his hands. He got a little grab right there. It looked like on Pippins. And that thing just overshoots Walter Simpson. It brings up 3rd down and 7 from the Longview 12.
Nice protection, nice picking up of the blitz that time in the backfield. It appeared to be Jason Williams with a clear block on the blitzing linebacker, Kelsey Oliver, and enabling Josh to get the pass out. And they've been working really well on those outside patterns along the sideline, as you mentioned at the start of the game.
So here's another 3rd down, 3rd and 8, let's say. 3rd and 8 from the Longview 12. They need just outside the Longview 4. Split backs again. Josh back to throw. Sets up the screen. Caught it. Creighton. 10. Close to a 1st down to the 5. He is just shy. They picked up 7.5, Randy. They needed 8. And that was a tremendous job by Josh Hill to get that thing away. 21-14 lead. Tyrone. Jason Williams. Brad Royal and Peyton Price, the upbacks. From the 5. T.Y. 5. Gets down to the 4. Very close mark. Craig Smoke is on the far side. What do you see?
I'm stationed right behind the marker, and it looks like he would be right about even with the marker if they position it right where he went down with the ball.
Now they start moving that thing around again. I never have understood that. You have a kid on the ground, and that thing looked like, Randy, they had gotten down to the 4. You can hear the Lee fans booing on the far side. Kerry Ainsworth says with his eagle eye that can shoot a dove out of the sky in West Texas that he thinks it's the 1st down. I don't think he got a good mark. Here comes the stretch of the chains, and he got the 1st down anyway. I've never understood, and this is at any game, at any place, whoever it is, they start tossing the thing around when there's a guy laying down right there. And listen to the Longview crowd right now, very quiet.
Now they got real quiet. They thought they might have made a stop, but he makes it by about a half a length of the football, it would appear. Nonetheless, it's 1st and go.
I tell you what I love what they're doing right now, Randy. They're giving the ball to the great tailback. 1st and goal from the 4. Pitch back, T.Y. Looks for a block at the 5. At the touchdown line. Touchdown, Robert E. Lee. Tyrone Ross on a lead block from Peyton Price, and the Red Raiders are up by 13. Just under 6 minutes to go in the game in the 1st half.
Great execution for Robert E. Lee. That's 3 times on the field and 3 possessions, and now 3 scores. Tyrone Ross patiently follows behind 2 or 3 lead blockers, clearing the way up front and scoring another one for Robert E. Lee.
So Tyrone Ross has scored twice. 27-14. I got a note for you there. Here comes the extra point attempt. Giles with the snap. Hold from Preston Hill. Kick from Cole is up. He drilled it. 5:36 to go. Tyrone Ross is 1 touchdown away from tying the school record for touchdowns in the career set by the great Derek Farmer and Keandre Smith. Lee's up 14 back in 30 seconds. Tyrone has 41 career touchdowns. In his career, he has scored 40 touchdowns on the ground. Check that, excuse me. He has 3 receiving touchdowns in his career, 1 kickoff return, and a bunch on the ground, including the second one tonight. Micah Johnson set the kickoff for the Lee Raiders at the 40-yard line. Very high, and he drills this one again. Pippins at the 2. Get down there and cover him. 15-20. That's where he goes down. Here comes a flag. Lance Heap, by the way, on the stop for Robert E. Lee. Colby Ray, those are 2 young kids who got a lot of playing time, remember, Randy, against Euless Trinity and Lufkin. Here's a flag down as well. Bill Bryant holding against the Lobos, and they will start this drive down by 2 scores inside their 15-yard line. Gabriel Lacey starts at tackle here on this defensive set. Lobos looking for something. They've had the last 2 drives ended a touchdown for Lee on defense on the Stripling fumble recovery and return, and a 4th down incomplete pass to the hands of Malcolm Kelly. From their 10, I formation. Vondrell McGee runs into Jason Stripling. He pulls out to the 15-yard line. He's not done, guys. He is not done. He's going to go. He is going to go 90. He's at midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 90. He was grabbed, stopped, and never stopped going. What an effort from Vondrell McGee, and just like that, Lobos are back in it. 90 yards. Vondrell McGee had not been a factor in this game. And that is just giving up on the play as you had him in trouble. Jason Stripling had him. He just kept on fighting. And it was almost as if the lead defense was waiting for a whistle, but he was not down. You got to keep going. 28-21. The shootout continues at Lobo Stadium back in 60 seconds. Vondrell McGee had 21 yards on 2 carries. Great average, but was not involved. He now has 111 on 3. 90 yards. Kickoff to Peyton Price at the 25, out to the 30, keeps going himself to the 35, and the whistle blew. And now they say no, it did not, and I think the Lobos may have recovered at the 36-yard line. They are trying to unpile the bodies, and the officials, I said, yep, they did. I heard the whistle myself at the 34-yard line. Not sure who recovered it anyway. Longview says it's theirs, but the officials saying the ball was dead. And boy, what Lee has got to do now, Randy, they were in total control of this game, had Longview backed inside their 10-yard line, and they let them loose, and now you need another one of those time-consuming drives to break their back.
Yeah, with that, right what Mike Owens would order.
And Lee has gotten fortunate. Although the ball was down on 2 fumbles, you never know on the road. Josh Hill back to throw, play action, pass caught. Peyton Price has a caravan. Midfield, runs over the safety into Longview territory at the 44-yard line, and a big chunk that time and a gain of 19 yards. 1st and 10, Lee at the Longview 44. Straight eye. Wingback reverse, Jason Williams, blocked from Larman, bounces outside 40, down to the 39-yard line. That was Stephen Christian on the stop, or on the block for Robert E. Lee. And Cortez Bell, the safety, makes the play for Longview after a gain of 5 yards. This is truly
wacky.
Unbelievable. This reminds me of Marshall and Lee back in, I think it was 92, the year after Lee had gone to the quarters with Coleman and Newberry when it was 57-50. We might be seeing something similar to that. Ryan Davenport in the game for Lee at right tackle. Timeout Josh Hill with 4:06 to go. 28-21 Lee, up by 7, back in 1 minute. 2nd and 5 at the Longview 39. Wingback reverse, 1st down. Williams plows down inside the 35, and I think Mike Owens would love, along with the Dow Wynn and Gary Fleet, a time-consuming drive to give the defense a break. Pippins and Johnson on the stop at a gain of 6 yards. 1st down, Jason Williams. 33 yards, Williams on 4 carries, and Lee with a 1st down at the 33-yard line. Simpson splits near side. Could be a good time for play action. Up the gut, Tyrone hurdles a man, drilled by the safety at the 31. That was Bell again. Cortez Bell, the junior, met Tyrone, who hurdled for a gain of 3, 2nd down. Lee from the Longview just outside the 30, up by 7. Split backs, tight end near side. Josh, straight drop, has pressure, throws it, intercepted Longview. Adrian Brooks picked off the screen pass, read it to a T. And that kid looked like a fullback, which he is. And I tell you what, that's a great play by Josh Hill to save what should have been a defensive touchdown. And Lee comes back and shoots themselves in the foot with the screen pass over the middle, and Longview now has a chance to tie it with a drive right here. Lee had the cushion, and now they've given up the 90-yard run and an interception. Freeman wants to throw it deep to Kelly. Fade pattern. Micah's there. Great defensive play. Breaks it up, and that time he stayed with it, stayed in front of Kelly. Freeman throws the fade pattern. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. So now 2nd down and 10. From their 45. Freeman fumbles it, and it's still on the ground, and Longview recovers. Carlin Freeman tried to hand it off to Ivory, but he tried to keep it. It kind of came loose, and Lee was forced back so badly on the defensive line that Freeman had a chance to rebound. Bobby Osborne was there to kind of clog that thing up, but he got a half a yard. 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the little indecision almost cost Longview there, as Carlin couldn't decide where he was going to hand it off into the gut of Brooks. Coming through, plowing through quickly, and he would have had a nice gainer.
If Lee doesn't give up something on this drive, remember, yes, Josh threw the bad pass, but he did stop him on a great tackle. 3rd and 9. Freeman back to throw. Has time. Sideline pass. Caught and dropped by Kelly again. Jason Stripling may have gotten in face just as he was about to catch it. Johnson again had fallen down or had been turned around. Freeman found Kelly on the sideline, but it's incomplete. It's 4th down. 4th down, here comes a whistle. And there's a flag on the near side. I think it might be offsides against Cordero Hunter, who's the coverage man, as he stepped across the line of scrimmage at the 45, so that's going to cost Longview 5 yards.
True.
Here's the snap. Dropped it, no pressure, gets it off, turns it kind of over. Lee's got to watch out for a weird bounce, and it does go down at the 21-yard line. Nice punt by Willie Cloyd, who is averaging 35.3 yards per punt, and Lee has it at their 21 with 2:03 to go. 28-21 Red Raiders at their 21-yard line. Play clock is now at 7 in the shotgun. Josh Hill. Snap. T.Y. the up man. He's open in the flat. Now Josh has to run. Now throws the ball sideline. Caught, first down, 30, or he was out of bounds. He had Tyrone Ross wide open on the near side, who would have had one man to get past, and that was an outside linebacker. And Lee fans booing on the far side. It's 2nd down and 10.
It was out of bounds. It was his left foot, and when he caught the ball, his foot was out of bounds.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Lee, swing past Tyrone. There's a flag down. This is all going backwards right now, and all the momentum in the world was in Lee's favor and had Longview back inside their 15-yard line, and now everything is going wrong, and here's a holding call that will bring that back. And now all of a sudden, Randy, Longview now can get great field position if Lee doesn't somehow come out of this with some sort of first down. 3rd and 11 Lee from their 19 or 20-yard line. Josh Hill in the shotgun. Snap comes. They run the draw play. Tyrone, 20, 25, breaks the tackle out to the 27. They will now probably call a timeout, and Longview does. Minute 36 to go. Josh Hill. Back inside the Lee 15, John Giles is the deep snapper. Good snap, nice scoop, gets it off. Nice kick, hits at the Longview 40 and bounces inside the 35, and Lee gets a bounce for a change inside the 30 to the 29 to the 28. And Roderick Allen got real close to knocking that thing backwards. 46-yard punt, that's exactly what Josh Hill averages, and he came through in the clutch. McLean back into defensive tackle for Robert E. Lee, and they've got to grab somebody and knock him on the ground. Carlin Freeman, deep handoff. McGee, nothing there, and that was McLean at the bottom of the pile, along with DeHaven, who's playing with such courage tonight with that ankle that is so tightly wrapped. 2nd down and 8. Freeman, play action. Steps up, has a lot of time now, rolls. There's holding, no call. He's going to be run down at the 33-yard line. And Mike Owens is going nuclear on the far side, and Craig Smokes right in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what he's getting mad about. Dominique Van Zandt was clearly right in front of the referee, right even with him. Dominique Van Zandt being held by one of the Longview offensive linemen, and that's what Coach Owens is so upset about. You can hear everybody in the sidelines yelling at the ref, but for some reason he did not call it.
Man, I tell you what, Randy?
Van Zandt blitzing, actually. Trenton Williams has to drag him down, and it's very, very clear, except the official let it go. And
well,
it
it's
was right
clear because he initially had, and then he tried to turn, and he couldn't get away because Williams had a grab of his jersey. Under 10 seconds here. Longview might just try to throw one up, like the defensive coordinators are doing right now. Here's Freeman, slant pattern. It is tipped away by Stripling. That ends the first half, and what a half it has been. And Mike Owens is not done with the far side official, and Craig Smoke with Mike Owens. So here we go. Kicking off is Longview from their, of course, 40-yard line on the scoreboard side, which is the west side of the field. Here's the pooch kick, and Peyton Price will field it at the 23. 25-30, breaks a tackle out to the 35, 6-yard line, and again, nice field position as the big fullback rumbles out to the 36-yard line. For Lee up front, Black, Banks, Larman, Colpin, Holland. We also see quite a bit of Christian, Bailey, and Davenport. Tight ends are Giles and Murphy. Receivers, all sorts of wideouts, including Simpson and Bush. We'll also hear from John Williams. Tailback Tyrone Ross, over 100 yards in the first half. Peyton Price is the fullback here, and Jason Williams lines up as the H-back, or excuse me, that's T.Y. as the H-back. And they go Peyton up the middle, almost got through the defensive line, but somebody made a great play. He had one man to beat, and he got him down at the 41-yard line, and that was number 35, Tony Johnson, and Kelsey Oliver there for Longview. H-back this time is Jason Williams. Runs the counter, not much room, but will get a yard, and that is it. So Longview with much more penetration that time. Keith Johnson and DeKendrick Campbell. And this brings up a very critical. Lee's offense now has shot themselves in the foot the last couple of drives. The interception on the last drive, then the bad drive at the end of the first half when they had bad field position. So, Randy, this is a confidence booster for either side.
Yeah, of course, Lee was 3 of 5 in the first half on third down conversions. This is a big one right here.
3rd and 4 Lee at their 43-yard line. The center is Blake Larman, the 230-pound senior. Offset eye. Saron Black and Banks on the near side. Play action. Josh in trouble. Gets around the defensive end. Allen now has trouble. Throws it. Pass. Is it caught? I think it is not. Out of bounds. And Longview forces Lee 3 and out, and that was not a very good start to the second half. Giles, the intended receiver, but Josh that time could not get around Roderick Allen, who's played a whale of a game. 4th and 4, they run the bootleg. If he's not there, then Josh can run it or throw it and get the first down, but a great play by the defensive end. And now Josh has thrown 4 consecutive incomplete passes, one of those being the interception. Back to punt, Josh Hill from his 30. Snap, Giles. Pressure, gets it off. Line drive punt, back is Johnson at his 15, and will catch it there with great coverage downfield. That's Tony Bush for Robert E. Lee, and this is where Longview was, remember, about the end of the first half of the 90-yard run.
We have a flag, David.
There is a flag down. Bill Bryant, the referee, along with Lee Hunter, Ronnie Stanlin, Glenn Bickerdike, and Buford Chapman. 45-yard punt, holding against Longview, and that should send them back inside the 10-yard line, where they have been before. Up front for Longview, Trent Williams, Pete Serber, Hardy Elkins, Michael Craig, and Murray Burton tackle to tackle. I'm not so sure, is this defensive holding, would this give Lee an automatic first down?
Well, that's what they're asking on the far sideline. Owens is calling over the...
Of course it will, unless it was a post-kick penalty. I'm not sure if it's a post-kick penalty. If it's a post-kick penalty, then it only can be at the end of the catch. Now, Bill Bryant, Lee's going to bring their offense back in the field.
Got the ball.
So Craig Smoke, not sure if you're down in that area. Holding call against Longview. It was before the punt, and that's a first down for Lee. Craig, did you get any kind of feel?
No.
You hear what happened?
No, I didn't get a feel for it. I was listening to Coach Gary Fleet on the sidelines, and he was really getting into his offensive line, telling them this is it, this is it. I think everybody knows how big a game this is, and it really can set the tone for the rest of their season.
I am not so sure, and I think John King might have a pretty good complaint right here, Randy. I thought anytime you punted the football, if the hold didn't happen immediately, it would be a post-kick penalty, a holding call. A defensive holding call is an automatic first down, but it's a post punt, and I'm not so sure.
The umpire threw the flag before the whole flood of players went down the field. He went and picked it up and threw it another 4 yards back towards the end of the field to mark exactly where he wanted it. Where
John King is on nuclear
eruption
watch right now. He's still upset about it. The umpire throws the flag, and maybe they grab the center, which is Giles. Josh, and look at this. Here's a flag right away from the official on the near side. What a surprise that is.
That's procedure.
I think Peyton Price is moving early. Well, one thing, Lee is still very fortunate here because they would have been punting the ball, and Longview would have had the ball back inside their 10-yard line or at the 12. Lee, even though it's 1st and 15, continues the drive, and I think the fans are somewhat confused by that call, and I know John King is very upset, and the official on the near side is still getting an earful. He's not the one that threw the flag. So Lee with a procedure call. It's kind of sloppy here at their 48-yard line. Slot receiver Tony Bush. Josh Hill steps up in the pocket. Now he can run. 45, nope. He's down at the 48-yard line. Boy, Carlin Freeman on that play has gassed Robert E. Lee, and Josh just didn't have enough people. And this Longview defense, let's talk about the last 2 or 3 drives now. They forced Lee to punt it at the end of the first half. Field position a lot to do with that. They just had a 3-and-out right there, Randy, and it's 2nd down and 16 right here. 7 seconds on the play clock, and they like to run a lot of motion. Down to 3. Josh gets the snap off. Has pressure. Saron, there's a flag. Josh going over the middle is going to be picked off, and it's incomplete. But there's holding, and guess who throws the holding flag? From the near side, Saron Black was run over by the defensive end, which is T.J. Norris. And this is going to cost Lee, and now we've got into a laundromat situation to start the third quarter. Simpson with Bush in the slot near side, Williams far side, offset eye with Tony in motion. Josh up the gut, Tyrone, 40, 45 out to the 44 or 46-yard line. He got about 7 or 8 of it back and brings up 3rd down and 16. Kelsey Oliver, he's the guy replacing Robert Henson, the great linebacker who's a redshirt freshman at TCU. But Kelsey Oliver has done a very nice job in being very involved tonight. 3rd down, 17. Tyrone Here's a wingback reverse to Tony Bush, midfield. Needs a block, breaks a tackle, but not even close to a first down. But he got some of it back inside Longview territory to the 45. 9-yard pickup on the play. Nice block by Brian Cope that time to get a seal, but Tony Bush well short of the first down, and Longview's got to feel down 14 at one point, ball at their 10-yard line. They're about to get a punt return, only down by 7. 45 of the Lobos. Roderick Allen's been getting close to Josh Hill, who's had a great night punting. 46 yards, snap. They're coming at him, and they got it off. High, wobbly kick that hits at the Longview 10 and goes out of bounds. That's a very nice job, and I tell you right now, Josh got that thing off. No return, and the Lobos start at the 10. 8:04 to go, third quarter. Williams, Serber, Elkins, Craig, and Burton. The tight end is Reese. Freeman, the quarterback. Ivory and McGee are the deep backs, or the running backs. McGee, right tackle, 2 or 3 yards. Nice job by Lee to knock him down. Stripling was in there to turn him in. Also in the stop was Cole Skates. Wide receiver, Malcolm Kelly, always dangerous. He's dropped a couple of passes, though. And it's a gain of 2, second down and 8.
And the Lee defense does a much better job of wrapping up number 3, McGee, and bring him down as a short gain. And
what you got to do now is find a way, if you can get into the backfield, Randy, near Freeman, is get a sack to kind of get negative yardage. Second down, 8. Freeman with Kelly split far side right hash. Runs the option far side. Breaks it. Close to a first down. Here's a flag down, and this might now be against Longview. Not sure where the flag. It's at about the 16-yard line, but this is going to go against the Lobos.
It would appear.
Ricky Sherfield makes the stop. Otherwise, Freeman has a first down, and the Lobos will be sent back inside their 10.
It's Malcolm Kelly, too. It appeared to me, turned back Micah Johnson on the block as Johnson tried to come in and pinch off the quarterback running the option, and number 4 was on the top side of Micah Johnson, and that's where your call is, I believe, on the far side.
That is a penalty of actually 7 yards, Randy, back to the 6-yard line. So a holding call against the Lobos, and they've had a couple of those, and both teams have gotten a little bit frisky with the flags, let's say, to start this third quarter. 7:18 to go, third quarter, 28-21. Robert E. Lee with Longview's offense back against their own goal line. Kinsey, the defensive tackles, Sherfield and Cordero Mumphrey. Van Zandt comes up on the defensive line. Freeman play action pass. Going sideline, pass is tipped away. Great coverage by Eric Ajiki that time as he was all over the intended receiver. That's Calvin Jackson. And again, if that thing is thrown anywhere lower, Robert E. Lee takes it back the other way.
Yeah, Ajiki coming over from his safety position on backside help. Just follows the ball, and he actually gets to it first as Calvin Jackson gets turned around. He's running to the outside. He has come back in towards the sideline, and a nice bit of recovery for Ajiki as he knocks the pass down. 3rd and 14. Lee had 3rd and long. They couldn't convert. Now Lee trying to get jacked up. That is Cordero Mumphrey. Watch for the fade pattern to Kelly. 3rd and 14 Longview from their 6. Freeman bootleg near side. Throws it. Pass caught. At about the 10, Jason Stripling misses a tackle, but he knocks him down at the 13. A great job by Eric Ajiki as Stripling forced him inside. He did break the tackle. That's Ivory, but well short of the first down. And both teams, after a track meet offensively, come out sluggish. Well,
97 yards on a kickoff return against Trinity. The punter is Cloyd, averages 35 a punt. Here's the snap. Good snap, no pressure. Gets off a bomb. Holy moly. Bush at his 40, turns around, 45, midfield, 40, down to the Longview 40-yard line. Very nice job. Tony Bush with a nice job and a tremendous kick by Cloyd to get back to the Longview 42. He just spun away from the tackler. Micah Johnson was there, and a gain of 12 yards on the return after a beautiful 44-yard punt. Start this drive, Tyrone Ross up the middle. Nothing absolutely stacked up at the line of scrimmage. He nibbles down to the 40. Tony Johnson, the linebacker for the Lobos, on the stop. And these two offenses now trying to find a big play. And Lee might have to go to the airways. 6:20 to go, third quarter, still up by 7. Right hash mark. Josh Hill, play action, bootleg near side. In trouble, sack, fumbles. Picked up by Longview. And it's fumbled. Lee has a chance to get back on it, and who has it? Longview forced the fumble by Josh Hill, and what a great job by Tyrone Ross to track down the Lobos defender, and Robert E. Lee has recovered a fumble, and I think Tyrone Ross did all of that. He forced the fumble, and I think he also recovered it, and the ball was recovered, and Lee has a first down at the 20-yard line. Oh, my goodness, what a tremendous play on both sides.
Well, it's pretty rare that you see 2 turnovers on the same play, but that's exactly what happened as the Lobos picked it up. On the far side, was that Roderick Allen?
Roderick Allen forced the fumble, and Pippins picked it up, and Tyrone Ross chased him down like a bullet. It ends up going as a huge loss, but Lee gets a first down from their 20. The problem there, it's a 40-yard difference in field position. And the strangeness continues. Stretch play, T.Y., nothing there. Breaks it across the gain, off the grain. 30 if he can turn the corner. 32-yard line, first down, and Tyrone Ross, who just made an unbelievable play, picks up 12 yards, and Pippins that time in the stop. First down, Lee at the 32-yard line, straight I formation. Simpson split near side in motion. Here's a flag. Saron Black has not had the best start here to the second half, and he had the holding call earlier. Talked to the big guy, the Human Island, earlier in the game, and nobody's probably more upset about that than he is, unless it's Gary Fleet. Play clock down to 1, snap, Josh, pump fake. He's got a man deep, that's Tony Bush. Can he get to it? He dropped it. He dropped it. He might have been gone at the Longview 30-yard line, incomplete off his chest, and Longview dodges a bullet on the pump and go.
Well, he had to hold up just for a split second, and he reaches up, and the Longview defender is catching him pretty swiftly as he has to hold up for the pass. It's not quite in front of him, but he takes his eye off the ball and just drops about a 50-yard pass down the field from Josh Hill. 2
offenses that made very few mistakes in the first half have been shooting themselves in the foot. That is not only a possible touchdown, but at least a 50-yard completion. And what a throw from Josh Hill. Wow. Second down, now 15. Josh back to throw, sets up the screen. There's nowhere to go. Now wants to run and knock down. And that middle screen is going nowhere. 3rd and 15 with 4:25 to go. Third quarter, Lee up by 7 at their 27. Josh takes a straight drop. Now steps up. Sideline pass. Caught Bush. That time he made it. And a first down. Now he dropped it. Shouldn't have. That time, folks, he tight roped the corner, and a gain of 15 yards at the 43-yard line, Randy. That was a perfect throw. First down, Lee at the 43. Play action again. Josh, sideline pass, tipped away, and it was almost picked off. Almost picked off by Rashad Williams, the senior who's got 2 sacks and 38 tackles. Peyton Price, the intended receiver, and it's second down and 10. Craig Smoke with an injury report.
Oh, not an injury report really, but tight end John Giles will be sitting out a couple plays with cramps.
Preston Hill has come in as a receiver, and John Giles apparently is out. Tight end near side. Here's the bootleg near side. Josh cuts it up, and he's hurting. Oh, he is just taking a beating. Norris that time. T.J. Norris forced up into the pocket by Channing Moon, and the bootleg on the play before he was open, but the last couple he has not been open. And Tyrone Ross has all of a sudden kind of gotten away out of the offense here. He has not had a carry, it seems like, in quite some time. It's 3rd and long.
Well, at least so, and it's probably
straight drops or rolls out, and then, but not the bootleg mentality. Play clock again under 10. Now at 5. He's in the shotgun on 3rd and 13. The play clock is 2. He got it. Josh back to throw, has pressure again. Now rolls to the right, has to get around Norris. He does. Now throws it sideline, almost intercepted. No. That thing was almost picked off again, and Tyrone Ross was on the near side, and they were trying to find him on a drag pattern, and Lee here's a flag down apparently on the far side. That's the linesman on the far side on 3rd and 13, and Josh Hill is running for his life tonight.
Well, he has to, because he's coming one way to throw the ball, and the pressure comes in at him. He's got to take off, and thank goodness he's got great wheels because he's able to get away from the impending rush.
The official is right at midfield. I'm not so sure this wasn't an interception. Craig, are you there?
Yeah, it was Tony Johnson. No, it wasn't an interception. It went off his fingertips, and
then
it looked
Lee
like Peyton Price looked like he caught it, but they're trying to say that he was out of bounds and came back in.
Okay, which is an illegal receiver. if that is the case. Great call, Craig. If you're out of bounds and then you come back in and catch it, I think somebody else has to make contact. Bill Bryant, the referee. Lee does get the ball at midfield, though. So they at least get about 10 yards on the play. Peyton Price with a nice job. It's too bad he couldn't have backed up 3 or 4 more yards after he caught it, but he was, of course, going out of bounds. Longview's defense has shut down Lee in the third quarter, and neither one of these offenses has any rhyme or reason right now, and Lee will be forced to punt yet again.
It's 4th and short upcoming, and really what this does is Lee keeps field position in their favor as long as they get another nice punt from Josh Hill. They've come close to blocking it the last time or two, have the Lobos, and so we'll see what happens on the upcoming play.
After such an explosive first half with 49 points, with 3 minutes remaining third quarter, nobody has scored in the second half. Peyton Price is the up man. Josh Hill, who's been running around. There's an offense. Should be a defensive offsides call. Here's a punt, end over end punt, fielded by Longview at the 20, and great coverage by the Red Raiders, Eric Ajiki. Now we got to check the flag, and if that is defensive offsides, that will extend the Longview or the Lee drive again. I think it was Roderick Allen. Here's the call from Bill Bryant. It is offsides Longview. Holy smokes.
Yeah. The Lobos.
That's the second time on 4th down they've extended the drive in this quarter, Randy.
The last 2 punts, as a matter of fact, for Lee have turned out this way. Just a huge play for Lee. They're going to get 1st and 10 at the Longview 45.
And all this is great, but you got to do something about it eventually. Craig Smoke.
Yeah, I was just saying, Longview's giving Lee plenty of chances. It's all up to Lee whether or not they're going to put it in the end zone.
Well, it would be backbreaking, you would think, for Longview if they give up something here, because they have stopped Lee throughout this third quarter. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. 28-21 Robert E. Lee. Simpson split near side. Wing back reverse, Peyton Price, nothing there. And now the Longview front four's taking over this game. Up front, getting penetration after penetration. And I'll tell you what, 34 T.J. Norris is playing a whale of a game, and we have now seen Lee on 2nd down and long throughout this quarter. 26 yards in the second half, but may have made the biggest play on defense. Wing back reverse, Tyrone gets a block on the outside, squirts into Longview territory inside the 45 and got about 5. DeKeldrick Campbell, Saron Black that time, the 325 Human Island pulling. And if there's a big third down, which we've seen throughout this game with 2:15 to go third quarter, Lee 3rd and 7 at the Longview 42.
Pass on the far sideline to Bush, and another big third down upcoming, Smokey.
Jason Williams checks out right as they start to break the huddle. Tyrone Ross is the H-back near side. Josh Hill, straight drop. Sets up, sideline pass, overshoots. Walter Simpson was wide open at the 30, would have had a first down in front of Pippins. And Lee will punt again here in the third quarter. And you've got to give the Lobos and defensive coordinator John Berry a lot of credit. Walter was open at the 30, and Lee forced. Hey, Lobos have given Lee twice extended drives, and Lee has not been able to take advantage of it.
And this was the 12th play of the drive as they converted on the 4th down with a penalty aid. And this drive is over 3 minutes long, too, so it's helped in that format for burning some clock for Lee.
Snap from John Giles from the Longview 42. Boy, the field, Longview has been against their, here's a big rush, and Josh got it away anyway. Boy, he just somehow got that thing away. Hits at the 15, down inside the Longview 10, and Josh Hill, he didn't even take one step. He just kind of kicked it and somehow got it away from the Longview rush of Roderick Allen. 33 yards, but very effective as it knocks Longview back inside their 10. And this Lobos defense deserves a tremendous round of applause, as does the Lee defense here in the second half.
Yeah, both of them do. They both have really taken over the game, and a lot of it has to do, as Kerry mentioned at the halftime, with the coaching adjustments at halftime. And
these are some great staffs we got here. Great staffs at Longview and Lee, and they have made some adjustments so far. 2:01 to go third quarter, and Longview at their 9. Carlin Freeman, that is Vondrell McGee, spins away, and that time they clean him up, and they knock him back inside the 10, pushing and shoving, but he got nothing there. Nick Mitchell and Dominique Van Zant were there for Lee, and so was Quet Nicholson, and that time Vondrell McGee got nothing. 2nd down 9, Freeman shotgun, runs the quarterback option, pitches it deep to Vondrell McGee. He's knocked down, or no, is he? They're trying to steal it away from him. Finally, they knock him down at the 10-yard line. That's Chris Ivory. And I tell you what, that's a great play by Jason Stripling. Or was that
That was Stripling.
That was Stripling trying to yank it out once they got him stood up, and a gain of nothing. It's now second down, third down, and let's say a long 9. Kelly, far side, no, near side, man-to-man with Micah Johnson. Stripling will be on him as well. Watch for the screen, straight drop, slant pattern, caught by Reese, and a first down. That's a huge catch right there. Out to the Longview 29. Ajiki was there, but the big 6'5" tight end, such a target, picks up 19 yards and a first down.
Yeah. Quick drop and a quick step and hard throw from Carling.
And that's from doubling Kelly. That means you do have somebody out of the defensive formation. Here's the handoff. Vondrell McGee tries to bounce it outside, and Jason Stripling knocks him down, and he is starting to take over on this side. And he gets up. His shoulder pad is loose because he got yanked by the jersey. And now Walter DeHaven, who's playing with Warren DeHaven, playing with such pain, trying to limp back to the huddle, loss of a yard.
Well, Stripling makes the tackle with one arm and is being held from the other side by Calvin Jackson, being yanked down, and no flag again from the referee standing on top of the play.
Literally, his shoulder pad came loose. You're like Earl Campbell back when he used to run so hard, except you're not supposed to hold the defensive guy. Back to throw, Carlin Freeman sets up, going deep over the middle, overshoots Malcolm Kelly by 20 yards.
Yeah, I think
he was on a post play, and I'm not sure if he cut that off too soon.
That's exactly what it looked like, because the quarterback threw the ball another 10 yards down the field. He was hoping that Big Malcolm will run underneath it another 10 yards further. He winged it about 40 as it was.
You know what? At the high school level, what you do if you can get the ball in his hands, kind of like when Roy Williams was at Texas, he's such a big guy. Even if you're in position, he can kind of get away. Roy Williams after the catch was as dangerous as anybody I've ever seen.
He's a freak.
As a big man. 3rd and 11 here. Another third down opportunity for the lead defense to come up with something. Freeman, play action, sets up the screen. What a great play by Lee's defense. Quet Nicholson will knock him down at the 23-yard line. And Lee's defense comes up with a huge play. Here is a flag down at the end of the play, and there might be a late hit. There's a flag from the umpire, and there might be a late hit against Robert E. Lee on a pylon. I'm not sure what the call might be. Longview, are they clapping? They usually can hear the call. They're in the huddle. What a great job by Quet Nicholson, though.
So long.
Dead ball, personal foul against Longview. So not only do they not get the first down, Randy, they lose 3 and 15 more after the play.
Well, it looked like a lineman coming in to block somebody late just tore into the pile. Once the tackle had been successfully made by Quet Nicholson, just did a great job of reading out, snuffing out the screen to the short side of the field for Longview, and Lee's defense now has answered the call of the Lobo defense.
So Longview got the huge third down conversion. 1 second to go, third quarter, but that time could not come up with it on the screen pass. Lee's defense should know how to handle that as much as anybody, as much as they see it. That ends the third quarter, and after 49 points in the first half, we see nothing in the third quarter. 28-21, Robert E. Lee on the road trying to come up with a huge road win against the 5th-ranked Longview Lobos. Red Raiders up by 7 back in 60 seconds. And Tony Bush lets it hit at the 40, and it bounces straight up in the air, does not get a Longview bounce, and the Lobos will down it at the 41-yard line. Lee has had the entire second half except the one drive that started back at their 20 when Tyrone forced the punt or the fumble. They have dominated field position, but neither team has been able to take advantage of it. Randy, Lee has to do something on this drive, up by 7 at the Longview 40, even if it's a field goal. Time for Saron Black and Sam Banks to take over on that left guard and left tackle position as well. They run the stretch. Tyrone bounces it outside, 35, inside the 35 to the 33. Gain of 7. Cordero Hunter, who's been somewhat quiet because there haven't been many tackles downfield in the second half, makes the play, but Lee gets a good start, 7 yards on first down. He rotates a lot of people from Larman, Cope, Holland, also Davenport in the game, and Bailey sometimes checks in at center along with Stephen Christian. Those guys come in all the time. 2nd down 3, Lee at the 33-yard line of Longview. Double tight set, T.Y. left, tackle 30, 25, 20, first down. Robert E. Lee at a gain of 13 yards, and they took it behind the big Brutus, the big old ugly Saron Black, and Jonah Murphy with a nice block along with Walter Simpson.
Yeah, that's the stretch play. Actually, is a little shorter version of the counter, and he takes it in just a great surge from the left side of the Lee line, wanting it a little bit more at the moment, and there's that power football that Lee can do very well.
You were talking about it, Randy. Just take it and see if you can punch him in the mouth. Lee with a first down just outside the Longview 20. Jonathan Williams, the split receiver, will come near side. Ball is on the left hash mark. Out of the huddle, Giles, the tight end, near side. Simpson split far side, the flanker. Double tight set. Stretch, T.Y. out left tackle, cuts it inside the 20, down to the 16. Not quite the 16, gain of 3. Christian on the block that time, and DeKendrick Campbell, the safety, making tons of plays. He is their leading tackler with 52 stops.
There's a reason for that. It means he comes up and plays great run support as they faced a lot of good running teams. Probably not played this kind of a balanced, diversified team until this week, but just a great bit of vision again from Tyrone Ross. He could have gone outside, but he saw the cornerback out there playing in, and he cuts back in for a short gain.
Christian and Davenport in the game on the right side for Lee on 2nd down and 7. T.Y. stretch play right tackle, tripped up, got nothing. Here's a flag down.
That's a hold.
That was just a matter of time. They're getting a little bit too close to scoring here. Keith Johnson makes the stop, but there's a flag, and this is going to come back most likely against Robert Ely in a holding call. And it is. In a game where the great athletes and 2 great coaching staffs were dominating a tremendous first half, this thing has turned into a laundromat. 9:50 to go, 4th quarter at Lobo Stadium. Lee with the ball at the Longview 27 on 2nd down. Hill, draw play, T.Y. fumbles the football. And Longview has recovered. First down at their 30 now. Longview runs the fullback dive, and Ivory gets about 2 or 3, and that leave front 4, 3, 5, whatever they do, making such nice plays on the fullback. That's Justin Simmons, 45 to 5'10", 195 senior for Robert E. Lee at 2nd down and 7. You know, Longview's offense has had very few plays in the second half. Lee has had the field position, numbers and numbers of play, the clock and everything, and the lead. Longview with some urgency as they come out of the huddle on 2nd down and 7. Freeman takes the snap. He fumbles the ball, and, of course, he will land on it back at the 30-yard line. He's had 2 fumbles where he has had just enough time to land back on it. Here comes another 3rd down and 10.
Well, that's, once again, another big 3rd down for Longview. And quarterback Freeman, of course, they're 2 of 6 now in the ballgame on 3rd down conversions, as Freeman has both of those for the Lobo offense.
So 3rd down and 9, and we're starting to get down to a time here. If Lee can force a 3 and out, of getting the ball at least near midfield again. Longview from their 31. Kelly double team with Mitchell and Micah Johnson near side. Freeman, quarterback draw at the 35, and he will be stopped short. Great job by the lead defense. And Craig Smoke, let me see if you can see who it was.
Caleb Foster on the play, Warren D. Haven. You also see Jacoby McKenzie, Eric Ajiki. I mean, everybody just swarming. This lead defense is very impressive right now. They haven't been on the field much in the second half. Lobos have been on defense most of the second half, but when they have been, they've stepped up.
These 2 defensive coaching staffs and players have shown incredible pride with what they've done so far in the second half. Both teams. 4th and 5. Now, Lee's got to be careful not to jump off sides either, and watch for the fake here. From the 35, snap to Cloyd. He's going to fake it. He wants to throw it.
He can run it.
He wants to run it. He might have room. At the 35, knocked out of bounds. He's got a first down at the 42. Lee's defense hung back, and he got the first down. You could read that from the time he took it. And what a call, and Willie Cloyd has picked up a first down and another big extension of either team on a punch situation. Lee had, it looked like they knew, but they weren't real sure if he was going to throw it or not. You got to go after him on that particular play.
They had 0 pressure, no pressure whatsoever. They peel back, and Cloyd just gets the ball, could have thrown it, ran it. He waited a couple seconds and decided to run.
He could not have thrown the football, Randy. There was nobody to throw it to, and that's what I'm surprised that Lee didn't go after him. And he made a nice play to get to the sideline. Another extended drive. Here's the fullback. Ivory breaks a tackle for 6-7 yards out near midfield, and boy, you have so many times you can put a team away, Randy, and this lead defense is scratching and clawing Van Zant with a stop at a gain of 6.
Well, they're having to, and just credit Longview for pulling off the fake and being a little bit gutsy about it. And we called it right before the play. Watch for the fake, and sure enough, they did so and picked it up.
Because I don't think Longview thought they'd get the ball back, at least not with much time to go. 2nd down 4. At their 49, Lobos down 7. Freeman, fullback Ivory, maybe a yard or two, gets a great spot, of course, on this side at the 48-yard line. And it's 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 1, and Warren DeHaven was down at the bottom of that pile. And Lee just had a player get hit right in the mouth. At the end of the play, Chris Ivory just hit Eric Ajiki in the mouth.
No flag.
3rd down and a yard. Well, first of all, Chris doesn't need to do that. And second of all,
well,
it would have been a stupid penalty had he been caught. Ivory got 2. Fans on their feet. 3rd and a yard. Freeman, quarterback keeper. I don't think he has it. He's getting a great spot. Unbelievable spot on this side of the field at the 47-yard line of Robert E. Lee. He never did get past the line of scrimmage, did he, Randy?
It didn't appear to, and then the side judge on the near side runs right up, and they're going to get a nice spot. It's going to be a measurement time.
No, he got it. He needed to get inside the 47 of Lee, and he's a football and a half inside of the 47 of Lee. And now the Lee crowd very upset. And so is Jay Law. He is fired up as they got a terrible mark that time. Craig Smoke.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolutely horrible mark. I was standing right behind the mark, and you could tell Carlin Freeman never got past the line of scrimmage. They tried to get a push in the offensive line, but Lee's defense stepped up, and actually he should have lost yards, if anything, but the officials made the mark where they did.
He looked at the surge, I think, Randy, and came from the surge. You saw the number 10 turned our way, and he has the first down by at least 2 lengths of the football. Boy, this is starting to look a little bit spooky. 6:29 to go. 4th quarter. Lee has dominated field position and time of possession with a 7-point lead, but have not been able to put the Lobos away.
Well, this is Longview's first foray into Lee territory in the second half, other than the turnover that were back-to-back.
Straight I formation to the Lee 47. Deep pitch back. Vondrell McGee's got the alley at the 40, breaks a tackle, keeps going, first down.
More arm tackling.
That's
there.
the first time they've just pitched it to the big old Longview power sweep. Remember, Joe Johnson used to run it in company, and he might have another first down at the 36-yard line, and this thing is starting to go the wrong way if you're Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, long sweep to the left.
The scary thing is he was not touched until he was 7-8 yards downfield. Osborne in the game, a defensive tackle for Lee. Under 6 minutes by the time they take the snap. 28-21 Robert E. Lee. This is Vondrell McGee up the gut, spins away, dragging people, almost another 8 or 9 yard. He took Skate on his back and carried him for a gain of 9.
And all of a sudden, Lee is
it's like they've dropped their heads.
Well,
they are leading by 7 here. They are the ones in control of this game.
Well, they've forgotten how to tackle, too. Had him about 2 yards into the interior, and he just plowed ahead and kept his legs churning, as most great backs will do.
Lee barely gets a player off in time, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty unless they call timeout. And a change in momentum from the 4th down fake punt, which we saw coming, has turned the Longview crowd on homecoming night. 5:31 to go. 28-21, Lee by 7. That was the score at the half, and we're back in 30 seconds. Play, now you're starting to see a couple of players limping. Got to get tough right here on 2nd down and a yard at the Lee 27. McGee. Nope, that's Ivory. First down inside the 25, and he barrels Lee over to the 20. And Lee is just getting mauled right now inside with the running backs leaning for 6, 7, 8 yards after contact. Van Zandt did wrestle him down after a gain of 7 yards. It's first down, Lobos at the Lee 20.
Well, Lee's just hitting high on both backs. They're coming trying to arm tackle along the waistline and above. And that's not going to stop either one of these backs.
Not these guys. You got to
really
get
hard,
penetration.
tough runners. Yep.
And they're starting to hit that thing real quick. A lot of other plays were taking a lot of time. Freeman runs the fullback. Ivory has 5 yards down inside the 20, down close to the 15. But he got 5 again. And it brings up 2nd down and 5 at the Lee 15-yard line. This is pretty amazing that Lee's offense, so explosive, has had so many opportunities to have anything on offense, and you got to give Longview credit for shutting down field position.
Well, Longview will lull you to sleep. This is the 12th play of the drive. It started at the 9:33 mark, and we're down to 4:40.
So now 2nd down and 6. Freeman, Ivory, first down, and he's just running over Lee's defense right now. Gain of 7, first down, and DeHaven with that sore ankle just playing his guts out. Skates was there as well, but he got 7 more and another first down. It is 1st and goal Longview, and this thing was kick-started by an obvious fake punt.
Yeah. Well, Longview's doing what they do really well, power football, being able to run the football. They're content with doing that. We might see something to the end zone here, though.
Listen to the crowd now as they were dead all night. Freeman from the 10, fullback Ivory. That time Lee stuffed him for a couple. Boy, great job by Nick Mitchell. DeHaven was there. Look at him barely getting up. Somehow has the ability to get back in that huddle. Dominique Van Zant was there. Second down and goal, Longview at the 8-yard line, just inside, make it to 7.
Yeah, they can only score here. They can't get a first down again, so Lee is towards the shadow of their own end zone.
Under 4 minutes to go in the game. It is second down and goal. Lobos at the Lee 7, straight eye. They're hammering the fullback. Freeman keeps it. Hit from behind by Cole Skates at the 7. He didn't get anything in Cole that time. The only one there, Ajiki might have been there, or he might scoot into the end zone. It's third and goal.
And this really is an advantage for Lee, I would think, unless Longview can go far outside running the edges. I mean, Longview does great things inside the middle and interior, and Lee's all of a sudden come up very large on the last 2 defensive plays.
Now you got the crazy receiver. Now you got Malcolm Kelly. I say crazy in a very fond way. He's 6'4.5", going to Oklahoma. Tremendous height. And here's third and goal. Freeman with Kelly on the near side. Back to throw, rolls to his right. Steps up, throws, pass, incomplete, flags down. They're going to call pass interference at the 5-yard line, and the Lee coaching staff is 20 yards on the field. Intended receiver was Reese, and everybody met at the same time, and Eric Ajiki may have gotten there a little bit early, and Longview gets another extension of this drive. Wow.
It's a side judge.
Side judge on the near side who throws the flag, and it's pass interference. First and goal, Lobos at the 4. It would have been incomplete.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. It looked like they played the football, and there might have been some incidental contact. And
you throw a pass to the tight end inside the 10-yard line, you're going to have contact somehow.
Yeah.
First and goal, Longview. Timeout, Robert E. Lee. 3:07 to go, and has been a wonderful game. 28-21, Lee's up by 7, back in a moment. And the Lobos now get the pass interference call to keep this one going as well. Otherwise, it was 4th and goal from their 9. And now they can just pound that fullback, you'd think, 3 or 4 times, and Lee's got to come up. Huge plays. Freeman, fullback, Ivory, not much there. He got a yard, and he got a great mark, of course, down to the 2. And they're just going to, and then the thing here now, Randy, is you got to be careful, because all it would take is the little magician to kind of take it one time, and you got to try to make sure you get on him, but you got to worry about the interior first.
Well, they're trying to half.
Wow, this drive has started.
17th play coming up, David.
2:37 to go. Straight eye, the lead 2.5. Freeman to Ivory, keeps it, and he will score. No flags. Touchdown, Longview, and we're an extra point away from this game being tied up. Absolutely amazing. But you got to stop the fake punt.
Yep.
And McGee and Van Zandt and all the other ones, remember, or McGee and the fullback Ivory, they did pound it down there before Lee had a chance to make that third down play that was eventually the pass interference call. Here comes Cloyd with the extra point with 2:28 to go. Snap, kick up, and the kick is good.
And it's good.
Wow. This is one of those you can remember for a long time, but in district play, you got to keep going, and Lee's tied for the first time since the second quarter with 2:28 to go in the game. Red Raiders have a chance to win it back in 30 seconds.
To tie the game up after Willie Cloyd's point after.
You could see that coming as well, as they were just pounding that big old fullback Ivory into the Lee defensive line, which had done a nice job of stiffening there, but then they just took it and ran outside with it. And now Robert E. Lee is dead even. They've had so many chances to put this one away. Here's the kick to Peyton Price at the 20. In trouble. Keeps going, 20, 25, 30, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds after he was out of bounds on a late hit, no flag, because the official on the near side was worrying about the spot. And Lee will start at the 30-yard line. Not trying to be too critical. Really, we're not. But
he hit him 3 yards out of bounds.
He got drilled 2 or 3 yards out of bounds from the 30. Stretch play, Tyrone Ross bounces outside, 30, 35, 40, close to a first down. And, of course, he just on the mark at the 40. Tyrone gets 10. He's having a big night, folks. Tony Johnson may have saved a touchdown right there.
Yeah, he rode him down as the stretch play works, because the big left side of the Lee line is able to get a a nice 2 or 3 yard push off the line of scrimmage. Another great leverage run for Robert E. Lee.
Now you got to make sure you catch it when it's at you, hold somebody when they get in your way, and run hard. At their 40, Lee is tied. T.Y. counter tray for 2 or 3. That's about it. Williams that time. Not much on the play. Brian Culp with the lead block. And it brings up 2nd down and 7. Lee at their 43-yard line. Boy, this is a critical call because you want to set up if you need a 3rd down play, and you sure don't want to give the ball back to the Lobos because any time is too much time for either one of these teams. Was that T.Y. for 3?
That was Williams.
It was Jason Williams. Yes. He has 6 carries for 38. Tyrone now with 162 yards on 20 carries. T.Y. stretch play outside, nothing. Lost a yard. T.J. Norris has been a tremendous force. Keith Johnson was there as well, and they ran that play and got nothing out of it. And, folks, it comes down to maybe this for Robert E. Lee. Tied at 28 with 1:12 to go in the 4th quarter from their 43.
It's almost into the line of scrimmage.
Minute to go in the game. Everybody on their feet. Lee at their 43. Shotgun. Josh Hill takes the snap. Rolls, steps, sideline, pass, picked off. Longview at the 50. Longview hit from behind. They're at Lee's 43-yard line.
There's a flag.
And a flag comes down at the end of the play. There's a flag at the 50-yard line. Most likely this is an illegal block in the back against the Lobos, but the problem is they would keep possession of the football.
That's correct.
Oh, that was the one thing you could not do, and he throws it into the coverage, holding against the defense. 1st down, though. It's not a block in the back, but it's a 10-yard penalty. The problem, they've got a great kicker in Willie Cloyd. They have the ball at their 37, and they've got the all-state receiver, Malcolm Kelly, who's been basically no factor since the 1st quarter.
Well, they've just run the ball down Lee's throat, especially on the last drive after they got the 4th down conversion. And what they're doing right now, they're going to hope to get 30 to 40 yards downfield. Cloyd has leg to kick 45 and in or thereabouts.
He has a long this year of 50 yards. 1st and 10, Longview with the ball at the 37. Here's the deep pitch. McGee's got room. 45, 47. Fumbled it. No, he was down. But DeHaven didn't see it anyway because he heard the whistle blow, and a gain of what could be a 1st down to stop the clock with 36 seconds to go. On their side, they were down by 14. Got a 90-yard Vondrell McGee touchdown when it looked like they were about to snap. Freeman shotgun. Kelly near side. Shotgun runs the quarterback draw. Nothing there. Surprised there wasn't a face mask called. Jacoby McKenzie, that was in tongue-in-cheek. And they call timeout. Lobos again with 29 seconds to go.
Well,
Need probably about 20 yards. They're at their 48 with 29 seconds left. The Lobos have 1 timeout remaining. Freeman shotgun. They run the draw to Ivory. He's dropped by DeHaven on a great stop at the midfield marker. And I tell you what, Jason Stripling made a nice play to turn him inside. And now if you're Lee, it looks like you're going overtime. They did this. They almost went overtime at Rose Stadium last year at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. I cannot believe Longview's not going to chunk one play and then settle for the field goal.
Nope.
They're going to let it go. And we are going overtime.
Here are the Boo Birds.
Both teams have had their chances, and now they'll both get chances. 28-28, overtime. On News Talk 600, KTBB, and we're back in 60 seconds. Lobo Stadium in Longview, Texas on homecoming. And we're tied at 28. Here's the coin toss, Bill Bryant. Longview, I think, has won the toss. Can't quite hear.
Tyler Lee, which end will you play on? You're going to play away from the scoreboard. Okay.
So Robert E. Lee. Craig Smoke, can you tell us who will have the ball first?
Yeah, Robert Lee will start off with the ball.
Longview wins the coin toss, and Lee will start and head towards the east end zone, which is where the big, huge bushes that spell out Lobos on the grassy knoll on the opposite side of the scoreboard. Overtime. We've been here before with this football team. The last time was at Texas Stadium when Lee lost 50-48 in quadruple overtime to the triple overtime to the Woodlands, and they've been in overtime with Longview at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium when a kid named Chris Butcher took an option pass or option keeper and scored to win the game there.
That was a 90.
This is outside, and he's only going to get a couple of yards, and they are really not getting much push now on the left-hand side after the last time they had the ball. Jonah Murphy was there on the tight end spot. T.Y. got 3. Last time they had the ball, they had a 10-yard run from Tyrone, then a 7-yarder, then the drive died on the holding call.
Well, Lee's really done nothing at all in the second half, really, except for just a few running plays. They haven't thrown the ball downfield with any effectiveness from the pocket either.
Second down and about 7.5 for Robert E. Lee. Tight end near side. Josh Hill up the middle. Peyton Price, 4 or 5 yards, brings up a very tough 3rd and 2 or maybe 3. Oliver and Roderick Allen on the stop, and Lee is just inside the Longview 17-yard line, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Well, what they're going to have if they don't get it here, they're going to have to go 4 downs.
Absolutely.
A field goal helps, but it doesn't win the game. You need to get 6 points in every overtime, and then also go with your point after, too.
After the second overtime, if it gets that point, you go for 2 after that.
That's right.
It's 3rd and 2 Lee, double tight set. They run the stretch to T.Y., bounces nuts. Jason Williams inside the 15, down to the 11. First down, gain of 5. Nice job by Saron Black and Sam Banks. And the 2 H-backs right there. Rashad Williams knocks him down, but a gain of 5 or give him 6 for Jason Williams.
Strong 6-footer from his strong safety position.
LaTroy Ayers, the 240-pound nose tackle, was in on that play, but comes out. Lee, Jason, T.Y. spins it outside. Not much there, though. Boy, that play has not been much there lately. It looked like he had a hole for a second. Banks was trying to lead the way along with Giles, but he got just 2. And here's a very tough call. Not much room to go anywhere. It's 2nd down and 9 from the Longview 10.
It's those familiar defensive players for the Lobos. Campbell on the tackle, along with Norris, and he had help from Tony Johnson as well.
Game tied at 28. We're at Lobo Stadium in Longview. Lee with the football in first overtime on 2nd down and 9 from the Lobo 10. Josh Hill, the quarterback. Double tight set. Bush split near side. This is a play action bootleg. Josh tries to get outside, throws it back against the grain. Caught? No. Had a man in the end zone. Giles couldn't catch it. Craig Smoke, did that get in his fingers?
Yeah, it went right through his hands. I mean, it looked like he had it for a second, but it just went through and incomplete pass.
John Giles was the intended receiver, and you know what, Randy? I don't know how Josh Hill, how he got the ball back. That is a dangerous throw, but they made it. Here we go, 3rd down, 9 from the 10-yard line.
Well, he's running against his body, against the grain, with number 34 Norris bearing down his backside again, and he's able to not even stop and throw a bullet 15 yards down the field. That's great athleticism, but they're running the wrong way to try to complete that pass.
Lee is now 2 of 11 throwing the football since Josh Hill had to tackle Adrian Brooks at the end of the first half.
Yep.
2 of 11, and now confusion, but a nice job here to take a timeout on what is a critical 3rd down. So Lee now at one point up 28-14 in the second quarter, facing 3rd and 9 from the Longview 10. And they haven't really had much success giving Josh any time to throw it. Josh back to throw, straight drop. Wants to now run to the near side. Uh-oh, watch out. You want to make sure you don't lose field goal position. He's in trouble. Gets away. Throws it against the grain into the end zone. Incomplete. And absolutely, what a great job of just getting the throw up. Otherwise, Lee would not even be in field goal position.
Oh, he's being chased by Channing Moon.
They are just dominating on the pass rush.
Right,
now.
yeah, they really are. They're giving him 2 and 3 seconds, but great coverage downfield for the Longview secondary as well. So Lee's going to have to try to get points here, David.
So now John Giles, the deep snapper. Preston Hill is the holder. Lee will attempt a 27-yard field goal. Cole Skate in his career is
32.
10 for 12.
32.
This is a 27-yard field goal.
Pardon me.
Snap will come from Giles. Snap, hold, kick, up, and it's good, but there's a flag down. Not sure what the penalty is. But even if it's a defensive 5-yard penalty against the Lobos, it doesn't matter. Unless you want to go for it on 4th and short, which would not be probably what you'd want to do anyway.
No,
you got points on the board as Skate drills the 27-yard field goal.
They'll refuse it.
And now your defense has to win the game for you.
This is true. And, of course, with Cloyd's leg, Longview, if they get 4th and goal or what have you, they could opt to try to tie it and keep it going.
Drive to tie the game. From the Lee 25, Freeman to Vondrell McGee, right tackle, into the secondary, 10-5, ball game. Touchdown, Vondrell McGee. Longview wins it 34-31. And this is going to be a tough loss for the Lee Red Raiders to overcome. And the coaching staff at Lee and, of course, the players devastated on the far side as Vondrell McGee exploded, broke a hand tackle or an arm tackle, and got in the end zone to win it 34-31.